Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan. Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay.
Titania. All right. It's Titania Jordan.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm here with Craig Allen, founder of CoalitionCrypto.io. That's a mouthful.
It is. It is.
And it's so hot right now.
Yes, you could not find a hotter space than crypto.
Okay, so obviously as somebody in the world of tech and super interested in investments, yet don't have the time to do the research, I am like on pins and needles waiting to hear what you have to say about this because I just don't know enough. And it's terrifying when you don't, right? So, you know, it's all over the news. It's blowing up. We've known about it for a while. What is the Bitcoin craze? And tell me, not as a peer, but as like you're talking to a class of fifth graders.
Right. Well, it is crazy, and that's a great word. It is a mania. The current market cap is about 760 billion of all crypto. Yesterday it was 680 billion, so it's changing constantly.
So volatile.
Volatile. Unpredictable. Governments are regulating it constantly. Regulations are changing. China outlawed all ICOs, and so a lot of those have migrated to South Korea and Japan. The US is a very late comer in crypto. People mistakenly use the word Bitcoin for all crypto.
The whole thing,
correct.
Right.
And Bitcoin is just blockchain technology, decentralized ledger. Everything is verifiable through the blockchain. To create a Bitcoin, you have to solve a very complicated mathematical problem. It takes thousands of machines to do so, which are called Antminers. The S9 Antminer is the strongest machine in the world.
How do you spell that?
Mine Bitcoin. ANTMINER, S9.
Okay.
They're made by Bitmain.
Okay, so in those 2 to 3 sentences, you've lost me. And I think that's why the general public is like, what? Like, I get it, but if I were to have to explain it to somebody, I'd be like, you need to call
confusing.
Craig.
Think of it this way. It's a digital currency.
It's a digital currency.
So why does a diamond ring have a value? Because a human gives it a value. Okay. This digital currency has a value based on supply and demand. It's verifiable. Only 22 million Bitcoin will ever be produced.
Only 22 million Bitcoin will ever be produced.
2 to 3 million Bitcoin have already been lost and will never be recovered.
Lost?
Correct. People have mined them. The wallet has been lost. The person has died. They can't find the Bitcoin. The founder of Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto. And it has never been proven that he actually exists.
Right. We don't know who he is. Sometimes people think he might be Elon Musk or
Nick Szabo. So the other thing is that account has 14 billion in Bitcoin in it. It'll almost certainly never be sold.
So 22 minus 14 minus the missing leaves us with?
Not that many Bitcoin. It's going up.
Oh my gosh. Can we pause taping so I can go buy some right now? I'll be right back.
Well, what you can do is participate in ICOs. So as Bitcoin is the road of blockchain, all these other restaurants, shopping malls, and gas stations are coming on the road. Okay. Some of those are Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin. You may have heard of some of these.
I've heard of them, but again, I need to spend a good week researching
this. Well, there's 1,500, so you ought to know it by tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so Bitcoin is the road.
Correct.
And all the currencies you just mentioned are like the gas stations and stores popping up along the road.
Correct.
Backing up, what is an ICO?
So yeah, an ICO is initial coin offering or a token generating event.
Okay, because I know about IPOs.
Sure. But it's a similar process.
Okay.
You're birthing a new blockchain technology that has a function. The key is the ICO has a function, A. B, it cannot be a security or you're subject to SEC rules. And you must not violate the Howey test. Regulation will be something we're going to see in 2018. We'll also see institutions coming into this space. So it's very early on. We talked earlier, there's about 22 million Bitcoin wallets. 7 billion people in the world. So the ultimate issue would be dilution from thousands and thousands of ICOs, which China banned, but the market didn't stop at all.
So explain to me the dilution theory versus the limited supply of Bitcoin.
Correct. So lots of people are coming to market with ICOs. So other coins can come into favor.
Got it. Bitcoin is not the only.
Correct.
It's just used
Correct.
erroneously as the term for everything.
Almost as a mistake. It'd be like if
Got
I
it.
said IBM when I was referring to technology stocks. Well,
Got
there are
it.
hundreds of technology stocks, but Bitcoin tends to be what everybody says when they don't understand it's a whole universe of cryptos. And suppose you put 200,000 in Ethereum a couple years ago. That'd be worth millions and millions of dollars, $30 million, whatever it's worth. You would not want to take that money out of the crypto system because at that point you'd be taxed on it.
Ooh.
So the people that have made a lot of money keep it in the crypto system, and there's a process of wanting to be in the fastest coin. So in stocks, they say a rising tide raises all boats. In crypto, you want to be in the fastest boat. And
Darn straight.
and there's a reason for that. So what's the reason for that? We'll put it in Facebook terms. Say you had US dollars. What's in your bank account? Euros or yen?
You're talking about how much money?
Yeah. No. What currency is in your bank account?
U.S. dollars.
US dollars. So if your government depreciates your dollar, what can you do about it?
Not a darn thing.
Not a darn thing. And they have consistently done that every year of their life. Why? Because they overspend. B, they want to lower interest rates. Their borrowing costs are lower. And C, they will print more money. Every Tuesday it's 40 billion, and Thursdays it's 60 billion, right? That's what the government produces. You buy Facebook with your US dollars. You have become short US dollars, long Facebook. This year Facebook was up 50%, your US dollar was not. So each crypto trade has a pair. You effectively become short one and long the other.
Okay.
So you own Bitcoin, right? You buy Ethereum. Ethereum goes up 20% and Bitcoin goes up 10% versus Ethereum. You've just lost money because Ethereum went up quicker.
So
You have to think in pairs.
interesting. Especially
So
for someone like
you
me.
always own one and you're short the other. It's like currency trading.
Yeah. Okay. So for everybody who's following along at my level, not so much Craig's level, a few key things. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency isn't Bitcoin. Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of the others you mentioned are all part of cryptocurrency.
Correct.
Awesome. See, I'm winning at that.
Bitcoin is one cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
Among many.
Among many. Second thing that we've learned today is that you balance it in pairs, or don't balance it in pairs, but that's the focus.
It's a paired trade.
It's a paired trade.
To get into the universe, you might open an account at Coinbase. It's a US based, in US dollars, and then you buy Bitcoin, and then you would send the Bitcoin into an exchange, and then you might buy another cryptocurrency. You effectively become short Bitcoin when you buy the other currency. Because you're selling one and buying the other. You have to think in pairs.
So just to get in, you've got to buy something which shorts you.
Correct.
Yeah.
What
okay.
you started with.
Right. Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Craig, tell me about crypto trading.
Well, it's complicated. There are
I know that's right.
there are dozens of exchanges all over the world. Some are more reputable than others. And there's 1,500 cryptocurrencies. And they all do something different. They have
Wow.
a function. So if you were to go to the Georgia game, which is a national championship game, you might have bought your ticket for $500 in August. Tomorrow,
I
you
wish.
you could sell that for $5,000.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
That's not an equity. It's a token-like instrument that provides a function. So all cryptocurrencies should provide a function, and they should not be securities. In trading, what you're doing is when you buy one, you're effectively going short the other. So you own Bitcoin, and you go out in the marketplace and you buy Ethereum. Effectively, you're going long Ethereum and short Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So if Bitcoin goes up more than Ethereum, you've lost money because now you're long Ethereum.
Right.
So essentially you want Bitcoin to go down, Ethereum to go up. It's a pairs trade.
Yeah.
That's why you have this manic chasing of the hottest coin, because nobody wants to sit there in one that's not moving because you're effectively losing out. And like I say, it's an international phenomenon led by Japan. South Korea is, of course, big. Asia and Europe is really adopting. The U.S. is very late to this asset class. However, we can catch up.
We can
We've
catch
got some
up.
friends in Wall Street and Chicago who know what to do.
Thank God. and you, obviously, at coalitioncrypto.io.
Yes,
You're
thank
right
you.
here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
so
huge.
What I say is don't go it alone. There's so much to learn.
That's very dangerous.
The other thing is crypto are traded in Satoshi. Satoshi Nakamoto is the inventor. That's 8 places past the decimal. 0.00000001 is a Satoshi.
Okay.
So when you're trading these things, if you miss a decimal point, you could lose yourself $5,000.
Ouch.
Ooh. Yeah, it's and I'm a professional trader, and I promise it's complicated.
What technology do you use to watch it?
So I use different platforms. Bittrex is a US-based platform, Kraken, Gemini. We're significantly behind the Asian exchanges, Bitfinex, Binance. Cryptos is a very exciting new exchange that we're involved in. We were on early. So you would start by linking your bank account to Coinbase. And then from there, you would open an exchange account.
Okay. And you mentioned that people don't want to realize their gain right away because of taxes. Well, what's the point?
What do you do?
Yeah, like you eventually, you don't, it's not play money.
So over time, you will be able to use them. And there's lending coins, Saltcoin. You can go out and borrow $100,000 against your crypto, and you're not taxed on it, and you pay an interest rate. In Japan, the Komodo token, you can just go into Starbucks or Subway and buy a sandwich.
Wow.
Over time, more and more vendors will actually accept crypto. That's not been the case so far.
So if you can ride the wave and keep it in there as long as possible, eventually it'll be more useful to you.
Correct. And there's a hoarding effect. There are people that will never sell. And so that's why
And then they die.
Supply and demand. Well, don't forget your code. If you forget your code, you could lose millions in Bitcoin. Never recover. Somebody threw it in the trash, $4 million of Bitcoin gone.
So there's no like password reset.
Oh no.
Let me send you
No.
your code.
The other thing, if you send Bitcoin to the wrong address, it's gone forever. There's no
Which
wire
opens the
department.
door for like hacking and fraud.
It is ripe for fraud, ripe for hacking. That's another reason I say don't go it alone. Cybersecurity will be very big here, and it's a very young industry. You know, we don't know how it's going to play out. No one does.
It's so fascinating though, and it's so much fun to be on this side of it, right? Like you are uniquely poised to have great success, both personally and professionally, with regards to just this vertical.
Yeah, it's the new world. Think of the
Yeah.
internet times 3. You know, there's a bubble going on now, a $10 trillion negative interest rate bonds, okay? That's $10 trillion. People putting $1,000 in a bond, they know they're going to get back less than that. So no wonder the world is developing new currencies. Your government can depreciate your asset. You live in Venezuela, they're depreciating you by 20% a year. So crypto is actually freedom.
It's
Your
blockchain,
yeah.
decentralized.
Your loaf of bread is $2 one day, it's $4 the next day. So crypto is freedom to you as someone in a third world country. So the US doesn't get it.
It's very liberating.
Yeah,
Very empowering.
for the world.
Yeah.
7 billion people, 22 million wallets.
Wow. You mentioned something that I thought was super poignant. Cryptocurrency is for real, it's here to stay, and it's volatile. So let's talk about the it's for real. Like this still sounds so hokey, honestly. I mean,
Sure.
not to me, but like, I'm sure there are people watching it like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna stick
Well,
to
my dad was that way with Amazon and Google.
Right?
Yeah, so they're worth 700 billion, 800 billion. So it's real in that you can convert your crypto back to US dollars, and those US dollars will go into your bank account.
Great.
There are guys that have made $80 million on Ethereum
I'm okay with that.
by investing a couple $100,000.
Wow. And then it's here to stay.
It's
so
here to stay.
It's not some buzz term that we're not
The
going to hear
genie
about.
is out of the bottle. There's no way to reverse this. It's like legislating a whale, right? If the whale swims from the Atlantic to the Pacific, who's going to stop it?
Right.
You can have fishing rules in your ocean, but you can't prevent the whale from doing what it's doing. So governments have tried to clamp down, even China. It's proliferated. The U.S. will regulate, as they should. Gibraltar is going to be a big spot.
Really?
They're attracting crypto, sure.
Wow.
So, you know, like Ireland for tax haven for Apple and Google and Amazon. So
How do you sleep at night in a 24-hour economy?
that's a great question. You have a team of people. You have your 28-year-old kid sitting at the desk.
Thank you.
You know, I do the work on the projects.
Yeah.
Talk to the founders. analyze, research, and then you have someone else do that.
Yeah.
You have a team. It's like a hospital.
Like you do not look tired.
It gets quiet. So over the weekend, the crypto space will get quiet, and Sundays in the middle of the night it'll start picking up when the U.S. markets start to wake up, where the futures are traded.
Wow. We talked about the it's volatile aspect of it, but it's certainly not keeping people away.
No, you can't ignore it. Like the internet, a $760 billion market cap. The other question I get a lot is mining. How do you create a Bitcoin? So a Bitcoin is a very complicated mathematical formula solved by a computer. Thousands of computers do so. And what you do is you join a mining pool. And your miners, ant miners, which are ASICs, not regular computers, contribute hash power to that pool of mining. Based on your contribution of hash power, you receive Bitcoin in return. So all these computers combine together, and it's a democracy. You have a voting relationship. Pools will break up if they get too powerful. They'll be arguing among Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin Cash was a fork by John Varr out of Bitcoin. Both have been successful. And there's a collaborative feeling in Bitcoin. Whereas Morgan Stanley hates Goldman Sachs, Bitcoin people work together and they want to solve problems and they really want to change the world. But
that's huge.
Not to say there's not speculation and money and greed and all that. There is, it certainly is. But it was started as a way for the common man. It's finance up. Rather than from the government and JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs down, it's from the Philippine Chubasaran boy up.
Wow.
And it's the new world.
You know, I'm not going to lie, when you first started talking just a few minutes ago, I was thinking to myself, I have fallen into the matrix. I am in the matrix. I don't know what he's talking about, and I don't know if I'm ever going to recover. But you brought it back around.
The goal of this is to put it in common language.
Yes.
So ask any
any
question you have, most people will.
I'm going to keep bringing you back,
most
too, because,
like,
honestly, it's embarrassing as a female entrepreneur in technology to not be totally up on this. But
there's thousands.
I know.
There are hundreds coming every day. You can make a lot of money in Google without being a advertising algorithmic programmer,
You're right.
You don't have to know everything about Google to participate in.
You're right.
It's success. So.
Exactly.
So
and
don't feel that way.
I know. Sorry, guys. I've spent the past year and a half of my life focused on machine learning and artificial intelligence. Apologies. I couldn't dive into cryptocurrency.
We'll let you slide.
Yeah. Okay. What I think is super compelling about this is what social media did to the world of advertising. It used to be in the hands of 3 main cable stations. They controlled information. Now information is real time and in the power of anybody that holds a smartphone. I think that's similar to cryptocurrency, right?
So that is an enormous, accurate, correct point. When you do an ICO, initial coin offering, you're coming out with a token that has a utility. You have a viral process of promoting your token. Each person gets paid along the process, oftentimes on YouTube or Facebook, LinkedIn or Twitter. And if you translate my token into Thai, I might bonus you 10,000 tokens. So you get a viral effect and free marketing for the ICO promoter, but it's going out to the whole world. You need Spanish, Japanese, Portuguese, Chinese. All these functions for a syndicate are performed by people, and they're getting paid in tokens. So you hit on a very accurate point. YouTube is very powerful. It's like you're getting paid.
Yeah.
If I get 1,000 likes on my Facebook and I got $1 a like, I get serious about my Facebook. But as it is, I'm not on Facebook.
We need to change that. I think there are people on Facebook that are going to want to see this.
Well, they could go to LinkedIn or...
Yes, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Yeah.
Are you on Instagram?
No, but my kids are, and they insist I not get on it.
That's a story
for
another day.
They're not Snapchatting me
Thank God.
on Friday and Saturday night. It's weird.
No, it's very weird. Craig, we have so much to talk about. Literally, notes. I really want to cover all of this. Before we get into these specific points, though, just walk me through basics. I'm a well-educated adult female, and let's say I've got $25,000 that I want to put towards this, but it's all I have is cash. I don't know anything else.
Okay.
Baby steps, what do I do?
How does the average person participate in crypto? So I've gotten this question from people with masters in finance. They went to Harvard, they went to Wharton.
Okay.
They're like, I just don't know what to do.
What do I do? Where do I
you
get started?
You connect your bank account to Coinbase.
Coinbase.
As a US citizen.
Okay, so is that Coinbase.com?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll come up. It's the most downloaded app on Apple's iStore.
Nice. Hold on. I need to make a note.
So
Get Coinbase. Okay.
Coinbase.
Check. Okay.
You would link that into your bank account, wherever, Bank of America. You send in $10,000.
And that's the minimum?
You can send in what you want.
Okay.
It's
So
probably $1,000 minimum.
Okay.
I actually don't know, but
Okay.
you would buy Bitcoin there.
Okay.
You just transfer your money, your USD, for Bitcoin.
Okay.
You now own Bitcoin.
See, that wasn't so hard.
It's not.
That
as
sounds
hard as
really easy.
You can send an email, can't you?
Yeah.
See there?
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, I can do hard things. It's just, again, like the volatility of it, the mystery around
Well,
it.
it's there. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
scary.
So you've bought your Bitcoin at Coinbase.
Bought my Bitcoin.
You would then open an account at Bittrex, which is a trading platform, or Gemini or Kraken, which are all US based. Send your Bitcoin to your Bitcoin address at that exchange.
And is that the key thing where you like
Correct,
should lose
that's
it?
the key.
Don't send it to the wrong thing. You will never
No,
get it
it
back.
will not come back. Don't go to loan.
Yeah.
So after that, you are in an exchange. Same way you have an Ameritrade account. You could
Yeah.
buy Microsoft, Google, you could buy Facebook, you could buy. So at that exchange, you can buy a number of different ICOs or cryptocurrencies, and you would buy them based on supply and demand or the functionality of the token. So if you believe in the NEO token, which is the Ethereum of China, you believe it's going to have a high adoption rate, you'd buy NEO. Or Stellar Lumens, they have a partnership with IBM. You'd buy Stellar Lumens, XLR. Or if you think Ripple is going to be the next Bitcoin because it's cheaper and easier to transact in, which it is. It's easier than Bitcoin. You would buy Ripple. All these have gone up significantly. I was looking through a dozen the other day, and it was hard to find any that weren't up about 300% in a month. So it is dangerous. You don't want to buy the spikes. You want to be patient, study, do your own homework. But you're in the Bitcoin world now. Those 3 steps, right?
I'm hooked, man.
Link your bank account, buy Bitcoin, transfer to exchange.
You're my cryptocurrency pusher, man.
You're going to call me, I just lost 10 grand.
No.
What did you do to me?
But so at what point do
I can't sleep at night.
No. So at what point do you come in? Like what point in this process do I say, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to coalitioncrypto.io?
Yeah, so that's what most people should do. The same way you have a financial professional, you have a banker professional. You have to sleep at night. You don't know a Satoshi from a Litecoin. So we participate in pre-ICOs. So we try to find good projects at good prices. Warren Buffett. Has to be a token, can't be a security. We also look for trading opportunities. The tokens perform similar to equities, supply and demand. Breakouts, breakdowns, good price, bad price. When they come on an exchange, oftentimes they'll go down significantly. And if you know the project, you want to buy that. And the liquidity can sometimes not be there. So you want a market maker in your token, someone to support it and kind of provide liquidity. So I'd advise hiring a professional.
We hear all about all of these terms, but I have yet to meet someone personally besides a few cool young millennial friends I have that are like into this. Who's participating in these markets?
Well, that's a great question. Probably not your granddad.
No, he's 95 and retired veteran.
So Bitcoin and crypto, it's all these young people talk about. So they don't open an Ameritrade account and trade. They open crypto accounts. So I would say younger people, 20s, 30s, 40s. Institutions are about to come into this space. I would say 2018 will be the year of institutions, and also in this country, regulation, which is good. They need regulation. Yeah. Really Asian countries in Europe. Japan is the biggest, 60% of the market. South Korea is big. China was big, and China outlawed ICOs. The market didn't slow down at all.
Wow.
Europe is adopting this very fast. The US is very late. So it's an international global phenomenon. 7 billion people in the world, 20 some odd million wallets so far. So it's all over the world. It's not US citizens. For an example, Bitcoin versus crypto. So at the beginning of last year, Bitcoin was about 80% of the market. Today, Bitcoin is 37% of the market. So all these cryptos are taking over. Remember, the market's a lot bigger now, 760 billion. Yesterday it was 680 billion.
It's just so crazy. But
It
it's
is.
awesome.
It is crazy. Crazy is the word. Crazy.
I love it. And
But it's real.
And speaking of words and what they mean, as you said, crypto means
Secret.
Yeah.
The Greek word for secret is crypto, right?
Yeah.
So it started, how did it start? That was a question we get a lot. Satoshi Nakamoto, who has not been proven to exist, we think it's a group of people, scholars do, created the first white paper. And if you just go to Bitcoin, Google it, you'll find that white paper that was done by Satoshi Nakamoto, who doesn't exist.
Man, that's so cool.
And it's taking over the world. And it's a threat to governments. It's a threat to the large financial institutions of the world because they're being disintermediated.
Yeah.
You know, why does Wall Street have a monopoly on raising money? Why can't entrepreneurs build a platform based on tokens that have a supply and demand function, but yet are not a security? And the answer is there's no reason why, because it's occurring. So,
Boom. Mic drop there.
Another point. There are 12.5 Bitcoin mined every 10 minutes.
Wow.
That'll drop to, in 2020, that'll drop to 6. So the amount of Bitcoin being mined is going down. It's becoming harder and harder to mine Bitcoin. However, other coins are proliferating.
Yeah. Craig Allen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And will you come back?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all for tuning in.